Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to input this data into your graphing calculator to graph the scatter plot on your TI-84, but also the line of best fit that goes along with it. So let me pull up my TI-84. Okay, so I want to input this data over here. Let's see if I can get them to show on both screens. That's good. Okay, so first thing I want to do on my graphing calculator is to make sure that my stat diagnostics are on. And mine are currently on, but what you can do is scroll down to where it says stat diagnostics and just make sure the on is highlighted and hit enter. Okay, so then we can hit second mode to quit out of that menu. So now to input my data, I'm going to hit the stat button. Okay, and see how the edit is highlighted? So I'll hit enter. And in L1, so list 1, I'm going to put all of the temperatures. So I'll type in 14.2, hit enter, 16.4, and so on. And hopefully I'm typing these in correctly. Oh, no, 18.5, 18.4, 25.1. Oh dear, and I see up here, it looks like right after 15.2, it did not type the 18.5 incorrectly, so that's okay. I was able to use my arrow keys to scroll back up. Okay, so now I use my arrow key to go over to list 2, and I'm going to type in the ice cream sales in list 2. Two, 6. Okay, so I've just inputted all of my data. I have the temperatures in list 1 in degrees Celsius, and then ice cream sales in list 2. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to perform linear regression to come up with my line of best fit, the equation of my line of best fit. So I'll hit stat and scroll over to calc. And then you can either scroll down with the arrow key, or I'm just going to hit number 4, which is LinReg, where it has AX plus B. Now notice that in XList I have L1. Okay, that's because in my graph I want my horizontal axis to be the temperatures in degrees Celsius. And then for my Y list I have L2, and that's because I want my vertical axis on my graph to represent the amount of ice cream sales. So I'm going to scroll down using the arrow key to store reg EQ. So this is where I'm going to store my equation. And I want to be able to graph my line of best fit on top of my scatter plot so we can kind of see how well the line really fits the data. So I hit the vars button and use my arrow key over to Y vars, and function should be highlighted, so I'll hit enter. I'm going to store this equation, my line of best fit equation, in Y1. Okay, so now go ahead, calculate. There we go. We got our slope, our y-intercept, correlation coefficient. But we'll talk about that, what all that is, more in class. I'm just showing you guys this for using the graphing calculator. So now I want to graph the scatter plot and my line of best fit. So I'm going to hit second and then y equals. So I'm hitting the stat plot. And I'm going to turn this first stat plot on. And I want my data point, so notice right now I have the scatter plot on there. And just like I said, I want my horizontal axis to represent the temperatures in degrees Celsius. I want my vertical axis to represent the ice cream sales. I'll use these are the different markings you can get for your points. Let's have the points be in red because I want my line to be in blue. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit zoom. And now I'll go down to number 9. So either use your arrow keys to scroll down, or you can just hit number 9. And bam. We have our line of best fit, and then there's all of our data points. And if we hit trace, okay, and we use our arrow keys, it'll jump to different data points. Oh, now I'm on the line of best fit. Okay. But you can see what the X and the Y values are for each data point. Okay.